If you have ever helped a child get ready for bed, you know that encouraging them to brush their teeth can seem more like pulling teeth. Tooth sealants placed on a child's molar actually reduces the risk of a child developing a cavity, much like brushing prevents them as well. Dr. Bill Moss is a public health dentist and serves as an advisor to the Pew Children's Dental Campaign. Pew says that Florida is one of 20 states that received a failing grade for child dental care this year. To fight the battle against cavities, Dr. Moss says the most efficient way to start is to not wait until a child has an appointment at their dentist's office, but to rather meet the children where they are, in their schools. So what was your involvement then on this study?
Okay, I serve as an advisor to the Pew Children's Dental Campaign. Before coming to Pew, I was at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention for 10 years as director of the Division of Oral Health. And actually, while I was there, several things happened to put a focus on how effective school-based sealant programs are for preventing disease actually in the most cavity-prone teeth of the most cavity-prone children. It turns out that the most cavity-prone teeth are the permanent molars. One set comes in at age 6, another set comes in at age 12. So these are the teeth most likely to get a cavity. We know that low-income children are not only more likely to get a cavity, but they're less likely to get a sealant. And if they do get a cavity, they're less likely to get it treated until after it's already begun to cause some pain, disrupting their ability to sleep or pay attention in school. So it's pretty serious when we allow disease to occur that could have been prevented. The school-based approach to providing sealants is to focus on schools where 50% or more of children are on a free or reduced lunch program, which is an indication that they're of low income. So we know those are schools where those children are concentrated, and therefore it's efficient to go out to the school with portable equipment and provide the sealants right there.
And is this a free service for the students?
In almost all states, this is a free service because most of these children are eligible for Medicaid or the state children's health insurance program. In many states where they have effective programs, they also use some grant funding, which gives the program the flexibility to be able to treat even those children who may be uninsured, so that every child in the school that has a need for sealants can have them placed.
Where does the beginning of this issue really start? Who does it start with?
Well, I suppose the first, it does start with the issue of parents not having developed a habit of taking their child for regular care. And often that's a problem because there's very few dentists that are willing to treat Medicaid children. Every state, again, varies in that, and Pew previously issued a report that compared Florida to others in both in the percentage of children that are Medicaid eligible that had received a dental service in the past year. So some of this is the parents not knowing the importance of regular care, but it's complicated by the fact that in many cases, even if they wanted care, it'd be very difficult to find a dentist that would accept them and would treat their child.
And what type of a cost difference is it for families if they want to put a sealant on their child's molars versus not, and then paying the cost of a cavity?
Typically, the cost of a sealant is about 1/3 of the cost of a filling. So if you seal 4 teeth, that's adds up to more cost than one filling, but it's far better to place the sealants on the teeth and have the teeth be protected than it is to wait until after a cavity is set in.
If a child were to not receive a tooth sealant and then later on have to pay for a cavity, is there not some organization or some corporation that is benefiting from these children who don't have access to sealants? But he wouldn't the medical world want you to have cavities,
No. Well, I think that the dental profession is really proud of its record of embracing prevention. And, when we look at dental health in the nation over the last several decades, there's been a tremendous improvement in dental health. So this isn't an experimental approach or anything like this. This is one that's been demonstrated to work in many states, and it's really a matter of of the, I don't think anybody's making money off of the fact that children are suffering with toothaches and not paying attention in school. The problem with the whole society is being harmed ultimately from that.
So on top of the school visits, then what would be the next step to help improving Florida's grade?
Well, on this particular measure, one other thing that we noted was that most states have done a survey in third grade. One can answer three questions. Does this child have any cavities? Have they had any cavities? Do they currently have any decay that's untreated? And do they have a sealant? And so the third grade survey provides a real snapshot of Florida is one of those states that has not done that survey or not done it recently enough to be considered current data. But even without those data, we know that just on the basis of the experience elsewhere, that if you don't have programs to reach these children, they're going to be unlikely to receive them before they have a cavity.
For Florida's 89.1 WUFT-FM, I'm Leah Harding.